To go on everyone. I thought I'd make just a quick video, just giving my thoughts on that recent Nintendo Direct. I'm not going to cover everything because there was some announcements that didn't particularly interest me, and I don't. Some of those announcements I don't particularly have a lot to say, but I will go through, the major announcements and some of the other announcements and just kind of give my thoughts. So for Mario and Luigi Brothership, this was definitely a surprise for me. I did not expect a new Mario and Luigi game, especially since the developer that had done all the Mario and Luigi games pretty much had to file for bankruptcy. I remember the last two Mario and Luigi games that came out, they were remakes of previous Mario and Luigi games. One of those remakes was Bowser's Inside Story, which that was a weird remake. It was one of the last games they developed. It didn't sell very well. It was based off a DS game that had, that you could still get and you could still purchase and play on your 3DS. They released a 3DS remake of that game. It made sense to release, the Game Boy Mario and Luigi game on 3DS, but to release a DS game that you could still purchase and play, um, and it's still a really good game on DS. There wasn't a whole lot done for 3DS that would maybe justify purchasing it again. So that kind of led to, the developer becoming bankrupt. But this game does look good. I do like kind of the updated art style with this game because there hasn't been a Mario Luigi game released on a console. It's always been a handheld. So, and there seems like there's been a lot of Mario RPGs lately. You have Super Mario RPG, you have the Paper Mario game, you now have Mario and Luigi. It's like Nintendo's just on this kick where they just want to keep releasing these Mario RPGs. Okay, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. So this was already announced before the Direct. This is something that I'm definitely going to get. I enjoyed the NES remix games on the Wii U. And this looks pretty cool. It's basically all about like speed running. I do like playing the NES games just, in quick little bursts. And this is basically what this is. Seems like there's a lot of cool different challenges and ways to play online and compete. And I know like the speedrunning community is going to have a time with this game. I'm definitely gonna, excuse me, sore through it. Fairy Tale 2, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just kind of started watching Fairy Tale. I only watched a few episodes. It seems like an okay anime, although I've heard there's not much, uh, I guess, development of the characters. Character development is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know how I feel about that. I know it's a pretty popular anime. Um, it's not really, it's kind of all I have to say about that. Fantasia Neo Dimension, yeah, no, yeah, whatever. I don't know why they're releasing an update for Nintendo Switch Sports 2 years later. It's like that game just kind of came out and then just kind of died. Because there's a lot I could say about that game. 2 years ago I made a video saying that I enjoyed the game, but I stopped playing it like after a month or so. I just didn't want to keep playing online, and just it took forever for them to add golf, and now all of a sudden they're adding, basketball. It's like, okay, why? I don't know. Just trying to get people to come back to the game. Let's see. Keep scrolling down. The cell shading, Looney Tunes. Just want to say the cell shading in this game, the resolution looks pretty bad. As you can tell, it's a multi-platform game. Okay, Among Us, Farmigaya. I'm not sure how to say it. That looks interesting. It's like a farming sim. It's like a Pikmin type game, RPG where you send like hordes of monsters. It kind of looks cool. It kind of looks unique. Okay, Donkey Kong Country's Returns HD. So I really was not excited about this announcement at all. I guess because this is a really good game. Like I've replayed this game multiple times. It's one of my favorite Donkey Kong games. But it was already re-released on the 3DS. So I mean, this is going to be your definite version because it is in HD. It includes all the levels from 3DS. So it includes, because they had new ones exclusively for that platform. So there's 80 levels in the game. It's cool. I mean, I just want a new Donkey Kong game at this point. I get that Retro Studios is working on Metro Prime 4, but I really just want. We haven't got a new Donkey Kong game since like 2013, which was Tropical Freeze. They just keep re-releasing these um, Donkey Kong Country Return games, which I know like some people, probably haven't played on the Wii. They haven't played on the 3DS. This is going to be for a new audience, so I get it. I don't get why it's going to take until January for it to release when it's just a port. Just go ahead and just release it. I don't know why we're waiting till January 16, 2025. Most people are. I feel like people aren't going to care. At that point. Dragon Quest. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm getting kind of tired of honestly these like HD 2D type RPG art style games. There's just been a lot of them that have been released. It was cool when they first started releasing like Octopath Traveler, but now it's kind of like I'm kind of over it. Funko Fusion, again, that's one of those games that doesn't look great on the Switch. You can tell it's multi-platform. I kind of got over Funkos. I used to collect them, and now I'm just kind of over them. Like I'm just over how they look, and this game just it doesn't appeal to me at all. Luigi Mansion 2 HD. I never finished this game on the 3DS. I think I got stuck in it or something. I can't remember. Um, I mean, it's fine. Um, I wish they had done like maybe like Luigi's Mansion 1 HD as well, because they released it on Nintendo 3DS, where it really should have just been released on the Switch. I don't know if they're going to change the mission structure in that game because the mission structure is a little wacky, but I'm not too. I mean, it comes out this month pretty soon. Um, time where this recording, will come out next week, so it's whatever. Um, Dempaman. Apparently there was a Dempaman game. I haven't heard of this franchise before. I need to kind of look into it to see what it is. I it's kind of weird that this is free to play and it's like a timed exclusive, like it's going to be releasing on other platforms. I don't know if that means like mobile or something. It kind of looks like Animal Crossing, the way you can design like an island. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird that it's free to play, but let's keep going. Yeah, new Nintendo Switch online updates. So it's cool that they're releasing Four Swords because now you can actually be able to play online with friends with Four Swords. Because when it came out, most people didn't have four friends that had four copies of this game and four Game Boy Advances, and then the four link cables or whatever you needed. I don't know if you needed four link cables. That might have been just for the GameCube. But whatever, most people didn't have that, so a lot of people didn't play this game, Four Swords at least. So that's cool that you can play it online. You still got to have four friends that you can go online and play Switch with. Um, you can't play with randoms, but I mean, that's a cool addition. Metroid Zero Mission, I've heard that's a pretty good game. I just started playing it and it's actually a lot of fun. It's really short. You could probably just play it in one sitting. Then they released a separate app for Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 Mature 17 Plus. So you have to download a separate app just to be able to play these new game releases, Turok and Perfect Dark. Now like both of these games are already available on like uh in better ways. Like Turok, there's a remastered version of that you can already like purchase and play on other platforms, and it's much better. Like I've tried playing Turok, and the controls are like horrible. Like those first person shooters from Nintendo 64 just had terrible controls, and they really did not age well. Like a lot of people were excited about GoldenEye, but really that was probably just to be able to play multiplayer online. because when you go back and play, the controls are just bad. And I have the Nintendo 64 controller for Nintendo Switch, so I could go and try playing that and see how it goes. And like Perfect Dark, you can get that if you have Xbox or whatever, you can get that off the Rare collection. I mean, it's cool that it's here. I wonder if it's kind of weird that there's a separate app for Mature 17 Plus. Like there's Mature 17 Plus games available on the eShop. Like anybody can go on the eShop and see all these some of these weird like Japanese, like they'll say like, like hentai collection, like, and it's just right there on the home screen. So it's like anybody could go up there. Kids can do that and just go up there and see those games. So it's kind of weird. You got to download a whole app, yeah, just to play these mature 17 plus games. I don't know if that means Conquer is coming. Conquer's Bad Fur Day is coming. I don't know. There can't be a whole lot of games they're going to release, um, on that separate app that were mature 17 plus for N64. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero. Yeah, again, I don't really have much. There's a lot of RPGs for Switch. A lot of these directs, they know the audience. Nintendo's a Japanese company, so they're going to release all these RPGs, and there's always RPG announcements at these directs. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. That's cool. I remember playing the Marvel vs. Capcom games, and they were a lot of fun. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Now, this is one announcement that I'm really excited about. I've always been a fan of Mario Party. So I grew up playing N64 games for Mario Party. We'd rent N64 and I'd always get Mario Party. And then when I finally owned my own N64, I bought Mario Party 2. My mom got me the GameCube Mario Parties every year because they were released every year. So I had all the GameCube Mario Parties. Of the 3DS Mario parties, I didn't get the Wii Mario parties because I didn't have a Wii. When I got a Wii U, I got Super Mario Party 10. A lot of people didn't like, Mario Party 9 and 10. I still defend Super Mario Party 10 to this day. I think it's a pretty fun game. I really enjoyed it. A lot of those Wii U games I'll defend, like the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, I'll defend that. I'll defend Mario Party 10. Actually made an old YouTube video about Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, but I think it's delisted. Like I don't have it available for the public just because the audio and video are really bad. But yeah, I mean, this looks great. I mean, hopefully, it's kind of weird they're doing the Super Mario Party title. Like it's like, oh, this is another Super Mario Party game, which was just like you could only use the Joy-Cons, you could only do motion controls. But no, it's like it seems like only some of these games you can do motion controls and like I'm not sure if you can use other controllers. I'm sure you can. It's just kind of where they're using that name. Like, oh, this is Super Mario Party Jamboree. Like the last game was Mario Party Superstars. It didn't use that super title. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm glad that there's 7 boards. There's 5 brand new boards, which the boards look cool. You have a little racing track. You have one set in the mall where you can like, purchase, buy things for coins. And then you have 2 boards from previous titles. So there's 7 boards. So finally, after several game releases, they're finally releasing, more than 5 boards to this game. There really needs to be at least 7, in a Mario Party game. And there's all these kind of new modes. The developer for these recent Mario Party games, they're all about putting all kinds of different modes in the game. I just hope there is substance to them because a lot of times they'll put a lot of modes, but there's not a lot of substance. It's cool that you can play up to 20 players can compete online and like that in that kind of mode. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, up to 20 players can compete in, the regular version of Mario Party. It's like a triathlon or whatever it was called. It claims to be the biggest Mario Party yet. I am definitely going to get it. I have all the Mario Party games on Switch. I've always liked Mario Party. Uh, so this is Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I just went and watched the trailer for this. So I'll be honest, I don't really like 2D Zeldas. I played like the one on the 3DS. I completed that, but I haven't really completed the others. Like this is the same art style as Link's Awakening on the Switch, which I bought and then like I didn't play. Like I played like 30 minutes of it and I just stopped. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the art style. I'm just not a big fan of 2D Zeldas in general. I like the 3D Zeldas. But this looks cool. So you don't actually play as Link, you play as Zelda for once. And she doesn't have a sword. She has this rod. She can create echoes. And the echoes function and like the menu for the echoes, that's it's pretty evident that's from Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So they're incorporating those gameplay styles into this game, which I never thought I'd see like a new 2D Zelda. I pretty much thought they were just going to keep doing like the 3D Zeldas, Breath of the Wild Zeldas from now on. But this is a brand new adventure, and it's kind of I think the gameplay is cool. You can create echoes of monsters, you can play echoes of items. It creates a different way to play the game rather than just using your sword to just fight everything. So I think that's cool. I think it's a unique take. 2D Zelda. Will I get it? I think I probably will. I don't know if I'll play it a whole lot. I mean, I want to play it a whole lot. I want to get through 2D Zelda. I just seem to lose interest after a while. Okay, Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition. Yeah. There's always a Just Dance game. It seems like every direct. Yeah, I don't care. Lego Horizon Adventures. I again like well, not again, but I this is another game that I don't really care about. It's cool that it's a Sony studio game that's coming to Switch. I just kind of got over the Lego games. I was never really like into them that much. I remember the last Lego game I got was like Lego Star Wars, Skywalker Saga, and I just didn't play very much of it. Just I don't know. It just doesn't interest me as much. Stray, let's see, Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Ring game. Um, Kind of cool that it's like a life sim and because I've always thought like, what if they just never left the Shire? You know, like we would just stay in the Shire. And this is basically what that is you just live in the Shire for those that just wanted to be a hobbit. So this game is pretty much 100 line is pretty much just Danganronpa with just a different title. It's like you have a weird school mascot. You're trapped in a school with all these other students. You gotta it's it's pretty much Danganronpa, except it's a different gameplay element. You're fighting monsters instead of solving mysteries of who killed who or whatever. Um, but you can definitely tell it's uh, from the guy that made Danganronpa. Okay, we got another RPG. So Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It's so finally we see some gameplay. We get a title. It's not releasing until 2025. I really wonder if this is the game that's going to release with the new console, Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called, kind of like how Breath of the Wild released with Wii U and Switch at the same time. I could be wrong. It could just release on Switch. I don't know when in 2025, but I know there is probably going to be a new console. So yeah, overall, this direct, it was a pretty, pretty good direct. I think it's pretty crazy that we're now in 8 years into the Nintendo Switch cycle and we're still getting like major game announcements like this. Like Nintendo's never done this. Like late into the cycle of late into the cycle of Nintendo consoles, you always just get trickles of game releases or just like remakes. And I thought that that's what Nintendo Switch was going to be because recently, we've just been getting remakes like Mario and Luigi. I mean, not Mario and Luigi. Mario versus Donkey Kong, Super Mario RPG. We've just been kind of remakes. That's kind of been a trickle here and there. But no, this is a bunch of new games. I mean, a brand new Mario and Luigi game, a brand new Zelda game, just all these different third party games, and then other including remakes. They're still releasing to the Nintendo uh online service. We got a brand new Mario Party game. Like this is crazy. It's year 8 and we're still getting like major game announcements, major first party games, third party games. So the Switch is, I would have to say, it's got to be Nintendo's best console. Um, I really love the GameCube. That's always going to be one of my favorite Nintendo consoles. But Switch as well has probably been, possibly my favorite Nintendo console. It's an excellent idea. It was an excellent concept, to be able to play handheld and on TV. Um, I really just want the games overall, like especially like third party games, just to look better and to run better. Um, that's what I want for the next Nintendo Switch console is for it to be able to perform better. That's definitely what I want. I don't think they need to change the concept. I'm sure it's Nintendo, they'll have some kind of gimmick with it. Or they could not have a gimmick. I mean, like Nintendo, if you think about like Nintendo 64 and like GameCube, GameCube was just like an upgraded console, but it just played games pretty much. They had stuff like you could connect Game Boy Advance to the GameCube or whatever. But the gimmicks didn't really start until like the Wii. Then they had like the Wii U and the 3DS, and the gimmicks started. So I don't know what Nintendo's going to be doing for the next console. I just overall just want the games to look better, to run better. Because you even had games like first party games like Princess Peach Showtime, which like some of that game performance is not optimized and it's kind of weird. But yeah, again, it's just crazy that this is we're still getting like cool directs like this. And like I don't think a lot of people were expecting this. A lot of people just kind of moved on, like, okay, when's the next console, whatever. But Switch is still alive. I mean, Switch is still kicking with all these new game announcements. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts on, most of the major announcements. And yeah, that's pretty much it.